Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya ulang sekali lagi. Kuliah kita pada pagi ini adalah berkaitan dengan hidupan liar. Jadi tajuknya adalah konflik dengan hidupan liar. So nak tegaskan dekat sini bahawa hidupan liar bukanlah perosak, tetapi situasi yang timbul akibat pembangunan yang mungkin tidak dirancang boleh menimbulkan konflik dengan hidupan liar. So yang dimaksudkan dengan situasi perosak itu adalah akibat daripada konflik yang berlaku. Bukan kerana kehadiran hidupan liar. Itu kita perlu tegaskan, sebab hidupan liar bukanlah perosak, walaupun dia boleh menimbulkan situasi bukan perosak, situasi yang timbul akibat daripada konflik dengan aktiviti manusia, sama ada pembukaan tanah, pemusnahan hutan, dan juga pembangunan yang tidak dirancang, seperti membina bandar baru, taman perumahan, dan sebagainya. Baik. So when we talk about wildlife, okay, what is wildlife? Soalan yang saya nak, what is wildlife? Okay. Wildlife is any animals that exists in the natural habitat. Okay. So kalau dalam perspektif kita, yang haiwan yang hidup di dalam hutan belantara yang lepas bebas, itu kita kategorikan sebagai hidupan liar. Jadi fokus kita sekarang ialah konflik with wildlife. Okay. Apakah situasi yang menimbulkan konflik tersebut? Ini kita boleh senaraikan, antaranya adalah deforestation, iaitu pemusnahan hutan. Dan yang kedua, land clearance. Maksudnya membuka tanah, biasanya melibatkan kawasan hutan juga untuk tujuan-tujuan agriculture, kemudian farming, juga development of any kind, pembangunan yang pelbagai bentuk. Termasuklah sebentar. Itu masuklah housing estate, mixed development, housing estate, mixed development. So ini situasi yang menimbulkan konflik dengan hidupan liar. Okay, now Okay, let's look at the effects of development on wildlife. Okay, number one, you have reduction in wildlife population. Okay, and also increase in certain wildlife species. Jadi ada situasi di mana populasi hidupan liar akan menurun, tapi di masa yang sama setengah-setengah spesies hidupan liar akan meningkat, disebabkan oleh disrupted equilibrium. Keseimbangan yang terganggu, ekosistem, keseimbangan ekosistem yang terganggu, disrupted equilibrium in the ecosystem. So how do we appreciate this? Saya nak gambarkan dalam bentuk begini, food pyramid. So you have a food pyramid. Okay, this is the original food pyramid. Piramid makanan yang asal. Okay. So you have the producer at the bottom, the producer, ataupun the first trophic level. Okay, ini melibatkan tumbuh-tumbuhan. Kemudian kita ada primary consumer. Di sini adalah primary ataupun primary consumer. Okay, and then we have the predator, which is a secondary consumer. Okay, predator, pemangsa. Primary consumer ni, okay, kita ambil satu contoh mudah, herbivore, yang makan tumbuh-tumbuhan. So this is the original food pyramid. In a situation whereby there is no disturbance, tidak ada gangguan kepada ekosistem. Okay, now let's see what happened. Okay, kita lihat perubahan. Kepada food pyramid. So you will find a food pyramid with a broader base. Okay, so this is the producer. This is the primary consumer. This is the herbivore. And you have the secondary consumer. This is the predator. So kita nak tengok macam mana this original pyramid ni transform to this situation. Yeah. So, for example, here you have the predator. Disebabkan predator is very sensitive to deforestation, ya. Kemusnahan hutan, contohnya harimau, ya. Jadi dengan kawasan perburuan yang semakin mengecil contohnya, so bilangan harimau yang dapat ditampung semakin kurang. Jadi dengan with the population of predator decreasing, population of herbivore increasing. Ya. So ada satu contoh klasik ialah yang melibatkan harimau, the scientific name is Panthera tigris. Okay. Dengan babi hutan, Sisus scrofa. Okay, with the number of tigers decreasing, the number of wild boar, babi hutan, increasing. So what is the consequence? With the number of tigers increasing, no, the number of tigers decreasing, the numbers of wild boar are increasing. So you have a population explosion. This one, tigers leading to extinction, kepupusan. Okay. So kalau kita grafkan, so this is the number of tigers that we used to have, and it will start to decrease over time. Leading to extinction. This is numbers, this is time, which is measured in years. Now what happened to the wild boar? You will have a graph something like this. It will lead to explosion. Yeah. Okay, exponential growth, bukan linear growth, tapi exponential growth, ataupun geometric growth. Okay, so for example, we have 2009. In 2009, we have about 500 tigers left. Okay, and by 2014, we only have around 250 to 340 left. So it is predicted by 2050 there will be almost none left. So this is a very sad situation. Okay, that the tiger have a very bleak future, satu masa depan yang malap. Okay, now what has been done to stop this? Okay. What has been done to stop this? Okay, number one, the WWF, which stands for World Wide Fund for Wildlife. they have launched T times 2 program, which aim at doubling the number of tigers. Yeah, doubling the number of tigers. Doubling the number of tigers. So when we have 500 last time, the aim was to increase it to 1,000. But the outcome is this: 500 dropped to 250. So it was a failure. Okay, it was a failure. The program was a failure because instead of increasing the number to 1,000, it became halved the number when we started, from 500 dropped to 250. Yeah. So why is this happening? Why is this happening? Number one, apart from deforestation, fragmentation of habitat, fragmentation of the forest. Let's say you have (100 kilometer square of area in the forest. This is 100 kilometer square, and this approximately this is the extent of the area that is required. Okay, the size of foraging area. So foraging area means kawasan perburuan. This is the minimum size required by a tiger. Why is that so? Because the number of prey, has decreased. Mangsa, bilangan mangsa telah menurun dengan banyak. So because of, let's say, now because of deforestation, the area shrunk, mengecil kepada, let's say, 50 kilometer square. So this area is no longer enough to sustain an individual tiger, okay? An individual tiger. And so the tiger in that particular area went extinct locally. So you lost one tiger there. There is also another situation whereby you still have that 100 kilometer square of foraging or hunting ground, 100 kilometer square, but you build a highway. Okay, this is your highway. This is your highway. So this situation is called fragmentation. Of the forest. Okay, you broke the foraging area into two. So this one half, this is another half. And that highway actually reduced the foraging ground to half as a result of the highway that is built across the habitat. Okay. Now, let's see now, apart from deforestation, so this is number one, deforestation. Number two, fragmentation of the forest. Number three, which actually worsened the situation, is poaching. Okay, perburuan haram. Okay, hundreds of tigers were lost to poachers, pada pemburu haram. Okay, they hunted down the tigers for meat and for aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac. What is aphrodisiac? Aphrodisiac is any medicine, or what thought to be medicine, or herbs, or some kind of drugs, natural drug, to increase libido. Libido ni sexual drive. So with this situation, we are losing our tigers at a very alarming rate. And we may lose our tiger by the mid of this century. By 2050, we may not have any more tigers left. So it is a very serious situation. That's why this has to be regulated. Logging has to be regulated. Farming activities has to be regulated. Our forest reserve must be preserved. For example, we have a forest reserve. Let's say we have a forest reserve. This is our forest reserve. Hutan simpan, forest reserve. So there is a buffer zone around it. This is called the buffer zone. Kawasan penampan. Okay, this is the buffer zone. Buffer zone, kawasan penampan. Development must not encroach the boundary of the buffer zone. Okay, development. What happened sometimes is development encroach into the buffer zone. It encroach all the way to the boundary of the forest reserve. And this move will actually threaten the wildlife, because apart from the actual conservation area, it needs to have a buffer zone, okay, of a few kilometers in width, so that there is no direct contact between development and the wildlife. But this does not happen in real life due to graft, corruption. So sometimes not only the buffer zone is being logged, the forest reserve itself is being encroached and locked. So this is a situation that is faced by our tiger. Now, let's look at what happened to the wild boar. Let's look at the wild boar. So we have the wild boar. Again, this is the graph. The wild boar will experience an exponential growth. This is year, this is numbers. Okay, since wild boar is increasing in numbers. For instance, in Hutan Pasu, this is just an example, Hutan Pasu, which is in Negeri Sembilan, you have about 50 individuals of wild boar per kilometer square. Okay. And this is a huge number. And as a result of this explosion, population explosion, leads to invasion of wild boar in domestic housing, domestic housing, business premise, public institution, supermarket, clinic, wet market, even schools, then intrusion in public recreation areas, taman rekreasi, even facilities, highway facilities, like R&R, and even masjid, which happened last year, 2 years ago. So this is the situation. Now let's look at Wildlife Protection Act, the aspect of wildlife protection. According to Act or laws. So we have number 1, Wildlife Protection Act. This is passed in 1972, Act 176. And number two, this one has been revised into Wildlife Conservation Act. Conservation Act 2010. This is Act 716, yeah, whereby the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 has been reinforced so that it is more effective in curbing poaching and other illegal activities, yeah, of okay, among the enforcement is RM 500,000 or 5 years jail term if one is caught with activities of poaching and the likes of illegal activity of importing or exporting wildlife material. Okay. Now let's look at what are the animals that is under threat. Wildlife under threat. Of course, number one, we have the elephants. Number two, the sun bear. Three is the leopard cat.
So you can.
Please unmute, please unmute. Siapa tu? And then tapir. Apart from tiger, and most of these animals, they are victims of roadkills. Haiwan yang terbunuh di jalan raya. Okay, and as a result of this development, we are facing conflict with wildlife. Okay, number one, we have discussed about the macaque, long-tailed macaque. That intrudes into housing estate, taman perumahan, attacking residents, invade homes, and cause a lot of apprehension, ketakutan to the residents. Okay, and then number two, the wild boar. Apart from invasion of public facilities, they also attack farms, orchards, and plantations. Okay, and then we have issues with the elephants. Attacking oil palm nurseries. And posing as danger to those who work in the plantation industry, to people that work in plantation. Okay, I suppose that is the save this. Let's run through the slides. Okay, I will share this in the Putra Blast, but I think we can run through briefly. Okay, this is a map showing the geographical distribution of our tigers. Panthera tigris jacksoni is a subspecies that is different than tigers that can be found in Sumatra and Java and somewhere else. So that's the areas where our tigers roam. Okay, this is what I have said just now. There's only 250 left now. Okay, and this is one of the threat that is facing our wildlife, trading through the internet, through Facebook and so on. This is a National Tiger Conservation Action Plan that has drawn up a strategy of saving our tiger. This is T times 2. They plan to increase the tiger by 1,000 from 500, but what happened? It is half to 250. This is the picture of a leg of a tiger that is being captured by a snare. So the tiger later on died because of the injury. And this is a T times 2 project which apparently failed. Okay, that is the picture of the snare that not only killed the tiger but other wildlife as well, tape, deer, and what have you. Okay, this is our tiger, our magnificent tiger. These are some of the facts on tiger conservation. This is a tiger that was observed in LPT, Lebuh Raya Pantai Timur, because the partner, the female that is actually pregnant, were hit by the traffic. Okay, and they built this crossing. This crossing is for the wildlife, so that any fragmented forest can be linked, and the wildlife can cross over from one side to the other. This is the food pyramid that I have explained just now. And some of the facts on survey that has been done on tiger in hutan Pasu, the effects of predator on prey, which I have explained. So wild boar has been invading our public spaces, restaurant, schools. An attack of wild boar can be fatal. Yeah. Highway mishaps, accidents, and even intrusion into mosque. Yeah. And that's not the only incident. There are many more incidents that actually went unreported. Yeah. So those are okay. Some of the threats of wild boar on farming activities. This is the track. So one of the ways to protect the nursery, oil palm seedlings, and as you can see here, a rubber tree that has been damaged by the tusk of a wild boar. And you can see we managed to capture a picture of a wild boar scarring for safety. This is a picture of a wild boar nest in the forest. Actually, we are not the only one facing wild boar explosions. Other countries in Europe, they are facing a tremendous problem of uncontrolled population explosion of wild boar. And these are some of the diseases that can be transmitted by wild boar, viral diseases, bacteria, and parasites. Okay, animals that is under threat due to roadkills, kemalangan di jalan raya. So in 2017, this is a statistic from 2017, one elephant was killed on the highway, and then we have 2 binturungs, 3 sun bears, 14 leopard cat, either harimau akar, and 17 tapir. So the number can be alarming. This is just from January to September 2017. And I guess the numbers has not decreased ever since. So we have an annual decimation of wildlife due to roadkills ataupun kemalangan jalan raya. Wildlife Conservation Act, this is the Wildlife Protection Act that I have deliberated just now, 1972, and semakkan Wildlife Conservation Act 2010, an act to consolidate the laws, perkukuhkan undang-undang, greater enforcement, penguatkuasaan yang lebih tegas, up to 500,000 fine and 5-year jail term, longer list of protected species. Semakin banyak spesies yang kehidupan dia yang dilindungi berbanding dengan Act Akta 1972. These are some of the other acts. Wildlife Conservation Act 2010, National Park Act 1980, Akta Perdagangan Antarabangsa Benih Spesies Terancam 2008, Enactment Taman Negara Kelantan, Enactment Taman Negara Pahang, Enactment Taman Negara Terengganu. So these are some of the acts that has been drawn up and enforced to protect our wildlife. And these are some of the pictures of the roadkills involving some of the wildlife, tapir, harimau. Okay. So do you have any question? Bahan ni saya akan letak dalam Putra Blast.